And joining me now from our Lagos studio, Nollywood actor himself, Baaj Adebule, in his signature suit and shirt. It's great to have you on the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing really well, thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
a little raining, but I'm doing good.
Do you remember the last time you were on a Rice 360?
Yes, actually. I'm actually a little bummed that I didn't get to see you.
I know, same here. When I look back at that picture, I even remember the outfit that I had on. A lot has happened between then and now, Baaj, especially in your career. Talk to me about growth and just what it means to you.
I think when you're spending your entire life pursuing something that is arguably one of the most important things to you, it's always great when you can see that every year you're getting better, there's a bigger level that you're reaching, you are better at what you're doing, and you're even learning more. It's always good when you're growing. So I'm just grateful.
Well, we're grateful for you too, Baaj. So based off of, the most recent wedding from the most recent couple, when I saw Sharon Oja's wedding, were you able to attend? I believe you were, or you were on set. Which one was it?
No, I wasn't there. I was on set.
Exactly, because I know there were a few people who were not able to be there physically. But when I saw the whole video, it made me wonder, Nollywood is it's like we're so grown right now. And then it's interesting that simultaneously, while the wedding was going on, the funeral for the late John Okafor, Mr. Ibu, was going on. And Nollywood was equally represented. So when I looked at these two audiences, there's an audience in the FCT and there's another one in the East, it made me understand, listen, we actually have two sides to Nollywood. Would you agree with that?
Maybe, but not necessarily, to be honest.
How so? Talk to me about it.
Well, you can understand, you can understand Sharon is of a particular age range. If she's getting married, there will be most people in that age range there. Same with Mr. Ibu, he's much older, so there will be most people at that age range there as well. So I think that was pretty much what was going on, as opposed to Nollywood is on one side and older Nollywood is on one side. That's how I saw it, actually.
Well, I love it though. I love it, but we don't see so much synergy though between maybe the brackets.
You don't?
No, they are there. I would say they're there. For instance, Mami Water, CJ Obasi's film, there was a perfect balance. Like when I say perfect, there was Rita Edochie was in that movie. There's this new actress. Well, she's not really new, but she's really good. Her name is Uzo Amaka. She was in that movie. So there are movies that have that perfect synergy, but it's not as common as the movies that we see. Like it's not something you just wake up and wonder, boom, is here. That's what I'm trying to say. So why do you think that is?
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't think it's a demarcation thing. It depends on the story. If you're going to have a character that's going to be in their 60s or 70s, you're definitely not going to call me. Just as much as if you're going to have a character that's going to be in their 30s or 40s or 20s, you're definitely not going to call Peter Ducci. You get what I mean? So I don't think it's a demarcation. It's just if you're shooting a film with a particular demographic being being most of the cast. For instance, the Wrong Number, for instance. My mom is played by Shafi Bello, magnificent lady. Obviously, she's from that, I think she's a little bit of both, but realistically, she is from that old Nollywood side. Who else was going to play my mom? Obviously, someone from that era. So I think it's more of a story thing as opposed to there being two completely different industries. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. And to be honest, when I look at these two brackets and the work that has gone into Nollywood now, all I can just speak to is learning. I think that there's so much that we have learned. Yeah. And, you just spoke about how Shafi Bello is a bit of both. I believe she's everyone's auntie right now because she is absolutely amazing. But speaking of learning,
she's really lovely.
She is. Working with the likes of Shafi Bello, what would you say you're able to learn from that work culture that Shafi Bello started her career with and is now passing on to the next generation?
I've had the pleasure of working with her quite a number of times, actually. And she she's able to still keep that childlike spirit that every actor needs, regardless of how much older you get. If you lose that childlike spirit, you pretty much lose 90% of your skills, you know. But she's still able to stay in that zone and just bring out some of the most amazing things. I think I ruined a couple of takes just laughing, just because she was just killing it. So, yeah, it's really a treat to work with her.
Basically, walk me through this film because that's Wrong Number. That's your most recent project, correct?
Yes.
So it has a lot of
yes.
star power. So walk us through, you know, what we can expect from this film.
Okay, let me just give you a brief synopsis. Wrong Number is about two hustling guys, played by myself and Seun Ajayi, who stumble on Reminisce's old number, the real Reminisce, his old number that he wasn't using anymore. But managers and audience and fans still have that number. So they thought it would be a good idea to live the celebrity life through Reminisce, and they didn't think anything bad would happen. Well, a lot of things happened. So that's pretty much the synopsis of the story.
See, I feel like when I think of a movie like this, I often ask myself, okay, so when people are watching this movie, Baaj, what do you want them to get out of this film? Where would you place it? Would you say this is a feel-good comedy, or you would say, you know what, this is a feel-good comedy, but it has a bit of action to it as well? Like, for people who are going to see
it does. Yeah, it does.
So that's what it's going to be, a feel-good film. So what do you want them to get out of it?
Yeah. I think one of the first things I think the director did when he was making it, he wanted anyone watching it to feel like if they were in that position, they would probably have done the exact same thing. So as opposed to making it look like he just wants to make you laugh, it's the situation that makes you laugh. Because if you're in that scenario, you probably have done the exact same thing. And then there's romance there. We have Nancy Sime there. She's also absolutely lovely. And then there's, of course, it's illegal to impersonate someone else. So no one has to tell you that there's some crime and some thrills. And let's just say we get into so much trouble that we wish we had not done what we did. But if we could do it again, we'll probably have done the same thing.
You know what? Speaking about it now, I want us to take a look at that trailer again. So we're going to get back to this conversation, Baaj. Just hold on.
Sure,
Let's have people take a look at that, and then we'll come back to this.
My name is Shegun. I moved to Lagos from Ibadan, with my primary goal being making it big.
Hey, guy, what's in it?
This is Daniel. If you ever want to party or be useless with your time, Daniel is the man for the job.
Your mates are out there building houses. What joke was it? All you know is party.
How is this possible? That's Reminisce's old number.
Who puts his real number in a song?
Man, you guys just managed to mess everything up eventually.
Remilekron, if your phone rings one more.
I dropped my phone in water.
No way.
I don't do it again. But this is the kind of thing that people are praying for. Dope parties, nice clothes, free booze, clean babes. Not like all those ones where they always get black spots for you. That is this really coming out!
Nope. Your work here is done. So shoo.
Excuse you.
Reminisce, are you there?
Hello, Alpha.
Oh my goodness. What a soothing voice.
Baby boy.
So,
Yeah.
what are we?
We are nothing but pencils in the hands of the creator.
You're good.
Okay, Baaj. So basically, working on this set, what's the most memorable part? Because it looked like it was really fun. When you look back on it, what was the most memorable part of working on this set?
It was. I think for me, there was a particular car that we got to drive. It's like the Batmobile sort of, and it was so dope. We were just blasting through the road and just having a good time. And then, of course, when you're filming, cameras are supposed to be following you. The drone is supposed to be following you. I think I misplaced the drone like 3 times because I was just blazing. But that was the most fun I had. It was really fun.
You know, when you think about Nollywood now, Baaj, compared to when you first started, is there a difference, like a significant difference? I mean, when I say when you first started, I don't mean like, you know, your first movie ever, but when you would say you started gaining prominence in the industry, you know, that difference or that shift, can you feel it? Would you say that it is there? Like there's definitely a difference right now. And what are some of those things you've noticed?
Oh, it's a huge difference. So like it's very obvious. I still remember, like you said, when I came, like blew into the scene and everything. At the time, the only way we thought you could do it was if you did like a bunch of films, or if you were able to do like a 260 episode on DSTV and African Magic and the likes. Those were the only ways. But now there are so many ways to blow. It's unbelievable, which could be a good thing, but as always, everything has a good thing and a bad thing. But now there are so many opportunities, from the VOD platforms to YouTube to TV, online, in flight. There's so many ways to put your product out there, to sell content. And since there are so many ways to sell it, means there are going to be more opportunities for actors and filmmakers. So it's so lovely.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned YouTube productions, because that's been a major conversation within the film space lately. What's your assessment of that? Like the whole idea of the YouTube production market becoming an industry in itself. Everyone has different hot takes. I've had different, I've had Etinosa, I've had Uzarukwe, I've had different people join me on the show and give their own, you know, opinion about it. So where do you stand with this?
I'm still on the fence, honestly, because I can't shake the fact that it's giving so much opportunity to a lot of people, especially young actors. And being someone who started off young and also tried to break into the industry, trying a million things, and seeing that other young actors don't have to go through that to break in, it's very hard not to think it's a great thing, you know? And then there's that other part of, well, due process is also very good. Due process is actually what helps you develop yourself, both as an actor or a filmmaker, whatever it is. It helps you develop yourself as you climb the ladder. But YouTube kind of just jumps all that process and puts you in a space that you might not actually be ready for. So I think just like everything, there's the good side and the bad side. I think only time will tell if it ends up being more good than more bad. But now it's a little early, so everyone is just jumping on there. I'm trying to see how much you can get out of it.
You know, I mean, you're not adverse to playing a role in a YouTube production, would you say?
No, actually, I've done not a lot, but I've done a few.
Exactly, and I think it's important that, you know, you're vocal about the way you feel about it, because when you first said you were on the fence, I was like, okay, but is there? I mean, like you said, there's good and there's bad sides to it, and sometimes we pay more attention to the sides that are not so good. Now, production is becoming. Everyone wants to get a bit of that cake, that pie. Like, you know, well, let me get in the director's chair for a second and see what that's like. So is that something that you think you're going to try to do anytime soon?
I already have.
Okay.
Yeah, my directorial debut, Come With Me, after doing a festival tour last year, he got on Prime Video January this year, actually.
Oh, so you see, that's a pretty big deal.
I'm already touching the pie.
Yeah, touching the pie.
Yeah,
so what's your next? What's your next pie?
Well, right now we're thinking of doing a TV series. So that's what we're working on. We're still on the script part, which I tend to take a lot of time with, because I'm very convinced if you can have a great script, the chances of you having a good film or a good TV show is super high. So I spend a lot of time on the script.
Oh, I feel like there's so much happening with you right now, and I'm just here for it. You are in Flawsome, you are in Men's Club, and you know, I'm starting to just wonder, like, you just like looking for trouble. Yes. You know, you like breaking hearts, looking for trouble in your stories. Talk to me about what it was like working with those beautiful ladies in Flawsome. Sorry about that.
Oh, it was lovely. It's so lovely. Lucky for me, I'd worked with most of them before. I'd met them Anne Ini played like brother and sister like very early on in our career. Anne, Sharon, and Inado were on Men's Club, like you said. Bisola, I met Bisola, I think the third thing I ever did, that's when I met her. So I know them pretty well. And they're brilliant. They're brilliant actresses. They're brilliant people. And of course, Tola, who is the owner of the show, we met on Men's Club. I also have a very good relationship with him. So it's obviously it's a completely different show, but the vibe and the work ethic and the chemistry between everyone is just always so lovely. And anyway, we are so keyed into that Uduak and Ramat thing. It's ridiculous. Sometimes you get into real life character conversations and arguments, and it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing.
Can actually tell that this is something you enjoy. Baaj, quite honestly, this has been such an amazing conversation. I mean, I couldn't be more excited for you, but give me one role that you haven't played yet that you're like, this is something that I really, really want to do. Like, I just have to play this role at least once, that you've not done before. A very unconventional role.
I'm a big fan of Anthony Hopkins, and you can't be a fan of Anthony Hopkins and not be a fan of Hannibal and all these films. And so to play a sociopath, psychopath, serial killer, a really evil person would be a huge challenge that I don't even know if I can pull off, but I would definitely like to give it a shot.
Okay, that's something I wasn't expecting. Well, you sort of answered my second question already with regards to a character in a movie that if they said, we're going to take this person out and Baaj, you can actually replace the person's role. Who would that be?
Jesus. Replace Anthony Hopkins, please give me
No.
chance,
You can't. You already mentioned. I mean, if wishes were horses, though, because again, you need to know this character.
Okay, there's this other film. I really love the film. It's one of my favorite films. And I remember seeing it when I was much younger, and I hoped that one day I could play something like it. It's based on true life stories. Catch Me If You Can. Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. So I would love to play either of the two characters. But more Leonardo DiCaprio's character. But either of the two would be great, because I think they were really awesome.
Okay, well, I'm crossing my fingers for you, Baaj. I really hope that you get all that you're looking for in your season. And I have to say a big thank you to you for being a part of Arise 360 today. Thank you for joining me on the show. And good luck with your new film. It's out in theaters, correct? Is it out already?
Yes, it's coming out in cinemas July 19th.
Okay. So everyone should go see Wrong Number. And I hope that they enjoy it as much as you clearly did while making it. Amazing.